magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? You ready for it? It's another Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday night live stream main event. I'm the face that runs the place. I am Protoman. I am your host this evening. I am going to keep you busy for the next 2 hours, and I apologize for that because you probably should be doing something much better than looking at this. We're going to talk Transformers this week. We're going to relax. We're going to do some super chats from the fans, and we're just going to enjoy ourselves. We have a giveaway again today. We have a giveaway that we're going to be doing for the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members. So again, if you are a YouTube channel member or Patreon member, be sure to participate later in the stream today to get some cool Transformers stuff. We've been doing this for about 3-4 weeks now. We're going to probably be doing this for the next couple of months, I imagine. We got a lot of cool mint in box package stuff to give away and a lot of cool people to enjoy it. So shall we get into that? Again, my name's Protoman. Hope you enjoy yourself. So we're going to start with the news and then we'll jump into everything else, shall we? So let's jump into it, not waste a second. So first thing we're going to cover this week is we had a whole bunch of studio series listings. We had some very interesting studio series listings. We talked about some of them last week. Now we got a whole bunch of them this week. And on top of the Bumblebee and Megatron War for Cybertron video game listings that we've had up to this point, we now have a Optimus Prime and a Cliffjumper listing. So the Optimus Prime is a Voyager class, much like the Megatron will be, and the Bumblebee, because you're going to get a Cliffjumper sooner or later. Since the Bumblebee was a deluxe, no surprise, the Cliffjumper is going to be a deluxe also. So that's pretty hype. Again, those High Moon designs, assuming that that's what they are. I mean, it's starting to really look like that. I can't imagine that within the Studio Series block, they're going to be reissuing the War for Cybertron Netflix stuff again. I mean, those molds, that Megatron mold it's got to be mush at this point. So it has to be brand new sculpts. I mean, there's already been talk by Evan from Hasbro's design team that they were going to be looking into video game stuff. The assumption was at the time when he said video game stuff that we were referring to movie video game related stuff through Activision. But if this could be the High Moon games and we could get some brand new designs of those characters or probably characters from those video games that never got toys, which would be even more awesome. Obviously, everything that we have listed thus far has been characters that gotten toys along with, Sideswipe and Jazz and Soundwave and Sound Blaster and Blaster. And technically, if you want to even count Metroplex. So it is what it is, but it's pretty hype that we have those coming. I can't wait to see more. And let's just hope it happens, yo. The other Studio Series stuff fell under a whole bunch of code names and everything, but we'll discuss what those code names are. I posted the list before that. We have a deluxe class Barcelona, which is Wheeljack. We have a deluxe class Outlaw, which is Nightbird. And we have a deluxe class Pluto, which is Mirage. The Mirage one is the most interesting because if it does 100% stay true to Studio Series and keep within those car licenses, this might technically be our first ever true Mirage car licensed Transformer in literally 3 decades. It would be very interesting to see what they do this time around. Very, very interesting to see. But again, those code names, let's just pull them up here for a second to remind everyone what's going on. So these are the code names. If you ever see listings in the next couple of weeks for Transformer stuff related to Rise of the Beast, these are the code names for them. Again, Cyclops is Optimus Primal, Butch is Cheetor, Warrior is Rhinox, Titan is Air Razor, Alpha is Optimus Primal, George is Bumblebee, Pluto is Mirage, like we just talked about, Orion is RC, Barcelona is Wheeljack, Oscar is Scourge, Outlaw is Nightbird. We also have a few other code names that we still don't know who they correspond to. We have a Core Class Delta 2 listing that we had, and we also had a Hydra listing that didn't have a class attached to it. One of those are probably Battle Trap. We don't know which, but we will see. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but it's pretty nuts. I mean, it's pretty nuts when we think about it. That this is how far we've gone. That they've really been hiding the names up to this point. But hey, they really want to keep a tight lip on it. I mean, it's if it wasn't for the big V, we probably would have already seen the movie last summer, and that would have been that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Pretty crazy stuff. Next up, we have the big reveal this week, which was Hot Rod, my boy Hot Rod. So we had this Velocitron Speedia 500 Wave 2 Voyager class hot rod revealed through these. It was Walmart listings through JT Prime 17. The stock images were on the computers. They were removed not long after these leaks happened, and we have our first look at our Voyager class hot rod. And again, they're going the toy route, going with the toy accessories, the toy accessories, the toy color scheme, the toy deco, the toy hue, and everything like that. And it's pretty much a very deep cut in a lot of ways. As someone who obsesses over this character, and everyone who knows me knows it's my favorite character of all time. This is really exciting. The Velocitron 500 collection has really just been giving me so many crazy good stuff between Override Nitro Convoy and all the other great characters. I mean, and again, the comparison photo here just to kind of show you the differences. So on the left, you have Studio Series 86 Hot Rod and all the fine details that make it a Studio Series animation accurate hot rod. On the right, you have the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection Voyager class Autobot hot rod there, the toy one, and the little fine details that make it match a toy hot rod. Even the little things like the flame on the chest. Toy hot rod has multiple little spokes on the side, specifically has a grand total of 5 of them on each side, 10 in total, and that matches that of the original toy, while the original animation model only had 3 by Fleur Deary. Again, if you look at it carefully, you'll see there's a lot of stuff going on here. The only thing that seems to be lacking from this Voyager class is they didn't include the Matrix with it this time. I don't know the specifics of how the Matrix is molded. Is it on the Voyager class Hot Rods mold tooling, or is it something that's made independently on the side that is included with a lot of other leader characters like Optimus and the Megatrons and stuff like that? I guess they just chose not to include it this time around. Maybe one day we'll learn the differences. But still pretty cool otherwise. I dig it. I mean, it's Hot Rod. What do you want? He's my boy. He's my boy. I'm gonna want, and again, it's a Voyager class, so this is gonna cost me big time. And I'm gonna want like 3 of these because I'm crazy. But I mean, it's kind of ironic with the first Velocitron Speedia 500 wave. We had Nitro Convoy, one of my other favorite characters of all time, and for them to get a toy, and in the Voyager class, crazy stuff. We have a super chat by Aiden Tolbert. Thank you for the super chat, Aiden. Alden, excuse me. Um, Imagine if Unicron is hiding unspace from something dangerous than him and Primus, like Tornatron, or worse. Are you in which continuity would you be referring to then? Unless you're referring to our world here. Uh, I don't think there would be something like Unicron. The physics of it wouldn't make much sense in all honesty. Anything that would have been in our atmosphere of that size. I mean, Unicron is pretty much moon sized. Anything that would be in our atmosphere that moon size would have wrecked us just from a gravitational pull, let alone getting eaten. We'd be killed by the waves and everything because Earth is like 70% water. Just the floods and waves and tsunamis that would happen would kill us long before Unicron ate us. Let's put it that way. But thank you for the super chat. Um, I mean, and another thing cool with this hot rod is if you look at the packaging, Marcelo at Hasbro, who does the box art for most Transformer stuff, he just kind of did a fusion of the 2 different core class art and just edited it a little bit. If you look like the robot mode art on the Velocitron packaging is just a modified version of the core class Kingdom art, and the vehicle mode on the top of the hangar flap is just the core class Legacy art there with obviously with some pieces of it edited and removed. Looks awesome. I'm very excited about this. Again, it doesn't surprise me that they did a toy color scheme because historically, already up to this point, how many toys have we gotten that have been store exclusives that were toy color versions of already pretty decent toys? I mean, we could name at least 3 or 4 off the top of our heads, especially the Beast Wars ones between Black Arachnia's toy box art, Dinobot, Pterosaur, we could go on and on and on, but it's really cool what we're seeing here. I dig it. It looks fantastic, and I can't wait to see more. I love this mold. I love this mold. This is like one of my favorite Transformer molds of all time, and it's only been out only for like a couple of years. It's crazy. Next up, this is recent news. Let's get into our new studio series stuff. We still have plenty more to talk about today outside of this, but this was recent news. So we have our brand new Target exclusive Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff. This was revealed through their geek event that they did, similar to the Walmart Collector Con. Target also has their little online event to reveal brand new exclusive product for their stores. And we have here some brand new Target stuff. One of them is very important from a financial standpoint. I'll get into that in a moment. But let's start today with Studio Series 96BB Nest Ratchet. This isn't corresponding really to anything in lore. The Buzzworthy Bumblebee repaints are not slavishly loyal to movie appearances like the actual studio series stuff is. Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff is more to just have fun color schemes or just do something like that. And this is supposed to be some form of a Nest Ratchet that somehow at some point was helping fight against the Decepticons during the Battle of Chicago and Dark of the Moon. At least that's according to the bio on the back. And if we're going to take what the background that's packed with it at any indication, obviously the background that's included with it was the same one that came with the second version of Studio Series Ratchet Deluxe Class. So it's maybe we're reading too deep into it, but at the same time, it looks really good. I mean, I've said this before many times. Whenever you look at prototypes and they're done in that gray resin or that dark gunmetal resin, it makes all the details pop. And black repaints always look great. This looks fantastic. And what I love about it too is if you took this and you put it next to like a vanilla normal Studio Series Ironhide, you got like the double black repaint kind of thing going on. They're almost like brothers. I think it looks really cool. I have the original version of this, the first version. It was actually the very first Studio Series toy I ever bought, but this one looks way better in colors, even though it's not accurate and it has the Nest, deco on it and everything. I still think it looks great. I dig it a lot. I like it. I like it a lot. It looks really, really good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And then even better, because I just have a soft spot for him. Let's talk about Nest Bone Crusher SS96BB. Excuse me, 95BB. Now he's going to be a Voyager class, so that's going to be the Voyager price point that we have today. And again, this one too, it's the Nest color scheme, but his explanation is a way more murkier. And I literally made a second slide for you guys to explain just how murky this is getting. Because it explains here that he pretty much is infiltrating Nest to learn more about the enemy. Now, considering Nest was made after the 2007 movie, and Bone Crusher was killed in the 2007 movie, it makes it kind of impossible that this could happen. But this also might be one of those many cases of toy micro continuities. This is a Nest version. And again, if you look at the nice fine detail that they put there, if you see on the side of him, it says All Hail Megatron, but it's done in numbers and letters. So that's pretty cool too. Nice little deco they put. But, again, Bone Crusher is one of those characters that he had a lot of toys after 2007. And because of how popular he was, they kind of made these micro continuities explaining how he didn't die in the movie, even though he clearly died in the movie. I mean, here we have Jungle Bone Crusher and saying how, after he fought Optimus Prime, he, ran away into the jungle and took a jungle color scheme. Or then we have the Fury of Bone Crusher explaining how, he went into hiding after the Fallen got defeated. It's like, wow, he made it all the way to even after the Fallen. So this is almost like a Dark of the Moon Bone Crusher in a lot of ways. And then you have like even the RPM 2-pack that on the back, it's like, he was plotting revenge after he got defeated by the hands of Optimus. I guess he was plotting revenge when he was just a floating head or missing a head. So there's a lot of Bone Crusher toys, and I'm leaving out, there's actually other ones too. But, there's a lot of Bone Crusher toys that suggested that, yeah, maybe he did survive. But that's again, I call it micro toy continuity. We have a lot of those. I mean, even when Jazz got killed in the first movie, there was a lot of toys that said that he survived and he was rebuilt into this new color scheme because we got to sell toys and fill out the 2007 and 2008 toy lineup and use that Jazz mold to death. So it's funny, but I dig it. Again, it's Bone Crusher. He looks really cool. And, I was recently educated by the listeners because I said this was a construction vehicle, and people pointed out that it's actually a mine removing vehicle. So it could kind of work with Sector 7, not Sector 7, with Nest as a military vehicle. I'm just surprised that, no one on Nest would have been like, "Hey, remember that guy that like totally split a bus in half, and then Optimus had to, you know, had to like, rip his head off?" Yeah, it looks a lot like him, but in gray now, kind of hanging around. Either way, I dig it. I think it looks great. Both of these guys are going to be coming out according to the pre-orders next year in February. Although it is tentative right now, they'll probably break dates and show up earlier at Target. But I dig it. I think it looks great. Again, it's Bone Crusher. He didn't have many toys throughout the years, and now, like especially decent ones. I mean, he was one of those big beefy characters that just had this one deluxe toy for the longest time, and it took forever to get brand new figures of him that were decent outside of like die casts and little like little PVCs. So this is great. I dig it. Super cool. Check it out. Last one we're going to cover of the Target stuff, and this is the most important one because this is a finance one. Let's talk about the reissue of Studio Series 44 Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, or Jetwing Optimus Prime, whatever you want to call it, being reissued into Studio Series 44 BB Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Now, this is a really important one because, my God, guys, and I'm just going to show you here, this is just as of this morning. The prices for the original Studio Series 44 were going through the roof. At the time when it came out in 2018, it was a $52 leader class figure that was getting scalped for $300. Look at the prices. These are sold listings. Look, one was sold September 22nd, one was sold July 21st, one was sold September 4th. Look at those numbers. And the other ones on the bottom left, those are some buy it nows right now. If you are interested, those are two buy it nows. Forget that. Forget that. If you are interested and you want to pick up this character, now you're going to get another opportunity. Hasbro listened to the fans. They saw how stupid the secondary market was getting with these characters. And now you're going to be able to get them in a brand new sealed box, leader class, for $55.99. Not these crazy numbers that we're looking at here. No one should ever have to pay $300 for a retail Transformer. No one. If you're spending $300 on a Transformer, you better be telling me you're getting some Japanese G1 stuff like Star Saber or Victory Leo or I don't know, anything. Maybe not Galaxy Shuttle. He's a little pricey, but it's absolutely nuts, the secondary market prices. So Hasbro, to make an effort to use the Target exclusive imprint and the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line to find a way to reissue this and find a slot in the stock space. What's up, Aaron? You know, this is great. This is fantastic. Super excited about this because so many people missed out. It had a very small window, that original Studio Series 44, because it came out and then the big V happened, and that kind of also ruined, people being able to go out and find it kicking around, and then this happened. So this is fantastic. These guys that have been scalping it could sit on it forever now. They're going to have to lower their prices and even that stuff out, because now you're going to have a $55.99 one that's going to be hitting shelves. And I hope that everyone will get an opportunity to get it. This is great news. I'm just happy for people. I'm happy when really tough product becomes available for people to pick up. Even if it's like old, like like Minerva. Where's Minerva? Minerva right there. You know, one day they'll do a Minerva G1 reissue, and then that'll lower the value for that, even that original one and stuff, so that everyone could enjoy it. Everyone could enjoy it. Great stuff. Next up is the Europe License Expo that happened over the weekend in London. And all I really want to cover with that is there was a lot of closed door panels that were happening with different licensors who got to see footage of Dark of the Moon as well as Earthspark. Some of that Earthspark footage was put out publicly through the various Instagram and Facebook platforms, both between Paramount, Nickelodeon, and Hasbro, and of course the Transformer one. Of course, there was a whole bunch of other weird licensing stuff. You're looking right here, the Super Impulse Pop Taters. I guess Hasbro doesn't want to have to make their own doesn't want to have to make their own Mr. Potato Heads anymore. So now Super Impulse, they're the people behind the world's smallest stuff and the world's coolest toys. Those are the stuff that are always in the Impulse aisles at various toy stores. They're the ones that are making, like, you know, those world's smallest He-Man, world's smallest Power Rangers. So they're making small versions of Mr. Potato Heads under the Hasbro license called Pop Taters. Yeah, sure. I'm sure there's someone that cares. I don't know who it is, but I'm sure. But there was a lot of other stuff at this expo. There was, you know, all kinds of Transformer branded items through different licensors, and of course, posters and t-shirts and a whole bunch of things that obviously could not be public because it would also reveal the designs of movie characters, because a lot of those t-shirts and posters and calendars and all those licensed goods, they do feature the designs of the movie characters, which can't be public right now, but those licensors are under NDA. But it was all there. We're probably going to be learning about it over the next couple of days, and it'll be pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool. But one thing also that happened this weekend was, well, actually, it's two different things. We had the Oz Comic Con in Australia, and we also had the Takara Tomy Hobby Expo in Tokyo, and we got our very first look at what the packaging for Earthspark items are going to look like. So we have a look at what the Tacticon price point is going to look like. The packaging looks like they're going to go with a closed packaging. I swear, the packaging for the Tacticon, maybe it's just me, it reminds me of the old Beyblade packaging when it was kind of like it was a closed packaging where you couldn't see the Beyblade, but it's like a small hanger. So the Tacticon price point is going to be a closed kind of packaging for the more economically friendly packaging that we have today. We have the one-step packaging. Looks similar and traditional to the one-step packaging that we've gotten up to this point. Actually, it's almost shaped more like the Rescue Bot Heroes kind of stuff that we've been getting. Then we have the Warrior class. Man, look at the Warrior class. So there's going to be no more bubble for the Warrior class. Warrior class, the last time we saw a Warrior class was, of course, Cyberverse, which was your almost like your traditional deluxe class bubble kind of card back. Now it's going to be an exposed figure being held on literally by just twist ties. I really hope we're not going to have missing heads and pieces like a LeBron James kind of Space Jam situation here, because those are really, really exposed warrior classes. And those are like the deluxe classes, but with less of a budget put into them. Then our deluxe classes, they're going to be in something that's much more similar to that of the Earthrise or Kingdom packaging, that more sloped kind of deluxe box with no window, of course. And finally, the Spin Changer, replacing our ultimate price point, which was that gimmicky, large price point. The Spin Changer Optimus and Bumblebee, a large packaging, again, similar to what they had before, just with no window and the slope on the side for the art to correspond. Prices are all there for you. It's a little cheaper than what it was last year, but that might also be because they're not putting as much paint and plastic into them. So hopefully the deluxe price point will be satisfying for us collectors, as well as the warrior class that'll probably fill the void for characters that won't be in that deluxe price point. Everything else, it's for the kiddos, and that's always how it's going to be, and that's how it should be. In all honesty, we got to hit all those demos, and hopefully everyone is satisfied here. Um, the last thing we're going to just cover here is, of course, most importantly, on the bottom right, was again at the the Takara Tomy Tokyo Expo, we saw our first image, and this is all we have, of Breakdown from Legacy, the final member of the Stunticons, which is going to be part of the new wave of 2023's Legacy. This is all we see. The show ends tomorrow. So maybe Takara is going to disconnect it and show us a robot mode. That would be really cool. Or an alt mode. Hopefully, we'll be able to see an alt mode or a robot mode. Maybe they're just teasing it and they're saving it for the Hasbro PulseCon, which will be happening at the end of this month. It's a possibility, but we will see what happens. It is cool to finally see him though. No surprises really how he looks in terms of colors or whatever. We're going for the slavishly loyal, animation accurate Generation 1 look, and looks good. Maybe we'll one day get a G2 breakdown and continue that BotCon legacy in a lot of ways. And yeah, that's more or less it for the news. We don't have really much else this week except for that kind of stuff, but a lot of interesting stuff nonetheless. Let's just get into some sponsorship stuff. We'll do some shout out stuff, and then we'll do a giveaway. How would we like that? So, first, again, of course, one of our most important sponsors with Hasbro and Symbiote Studios with the plush, the pins, and the t shirts. Again, rocking my Grimlock one today and my Bumblebee pin. And of course, we got the whole crew chilling in the back. Like always, there's going to be new ones that are going to be coming in the future. But again, Symbiote Studios for your official Transformers plush series pins and t-shirts. Check them out. They sell out quick. Be sure to jump on them, symbiotestudios.com. There's a whole bunch of them. These are the past waves and the future waves to come. Get that Seeker 3-pack. Get Shockwave. Wave 5 is coming soon. Wave 5 is coming soon. We're going to have some brand new reveals for Wave 5 in the near future. Be sure to check that out. It'll be exclusive to the Transformers Slag podcast. We'll have a big Wave 5 reveal, big commercial and everything. So be sure to tune in when that comes out. And if Transformers ain't your thing, which would be weird, they also have Magic the Gathering. They have Power Rangers. They have G.I. Joe. They have My Little Pony. All the Hasbro brands are covered. Good stuff. Fantastic quality. These are big plushes, by the way. They're not like small little plushes that you'd buy at like Hallmark or something. I remember when Hallmark had their little squinsy plushes. These are like nice 12-inch big ones made with Miko mink fur. They're great. They're fantastic. I love that Snake Eyes one too, just because it comes with Timber. I love that figure. Love them all. They're great. And the Magic the Gathering stuff. I have my Magic the Gathering pin. I always keep it nearby my whole bunch of the island ones from the blue. Great stuff. And of course, the brand new ones that just came out a month ago. We have the brand new Dragon Zord from Power Rangers and the G.I. Joe pins. Again, symbiotestudios.com. Check them out, yo. And of course, Aaron Archer's here. So be sure to check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. You want to hear my voice a little more? You're not sick of my voice? Are you not sick of this disgusting, boring, annoying voice? If you're not sick of it, well, how about you come listen to me some more and Aaron Archer talk about the history of Transformers and how it was created from the man who created it. A 2-hour and plus podcast and more, tons of stuff about both Kenner and Hasbro brands. We recently just finished yet again another Armada segment, which is in the works and will be going live hopefully in the next couple of days. I gotta piece it in to kind of do the final tooling and editing. Great stuff. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Just throw it in your search engine on YouTube. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. The visual podcast, long form visual. You get to see background images, design sketches, and learn how Transformers, as well as other Hasbro and Kenner brands, were made. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. And if you want some more Aaron Archer, if you're not sick of Aaron, he's also still selling his art book. You got Aaron Archer's Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 1, the black and white edition. 32 unique pages of brand new Transformer art. None of this is reprinted art. None of this is old art that you've already seen in art books or packaging. This is 100% brand new art from Transformers' history throughout the years. 20 bucks. $20 gets you this amazing art book. If you throw in an extra $15, Aaron will draw whatever you want inside it. He'll draw a sketch of your favorite character for an extra 15 bucks. What a deal. Own a piece of history from the man who created the stuff that you grew up in. Check it out. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. And then, of course, The Art of Transforming Robots by Aaron Archer. Check it out. archermonster.com/shop. Link will be in the description below. We got a super chat from Detective Ferret. Someone at the Japanese toy show confirmed Armada Optimus Prime is not canceled. Well, Evan and I think it was no, it wasn't Evan. It was Mark Mayer of Hasbro mentioned that the Optimus Prime was not canceled because they're pretty much saving it for 2023 to celebrate the true 20th anniversary of Transformers Armada on the Japanese side of thing. So we kind of knew it was going to be coming at some point, and that 2023 is going to be a celebration of the Armada brand. So it's good to hear it again. But I remember Mark mentioning it in a Transformers Q&A. I know I reported it. I want to say it was in July. That it was still happening. So that's great though. Micron Comboy, aka Armada Optimus Prime, fantastic stuff. I'm happy about it. I want to get it. The old unfortunately the old Armada Optimus Prime suffers from GPS today in some of his joints. So to get something that's updated and brand new, sign me up. And that's more or less it, guys. So we'll get into what we got this week. I got some interesting stuff, and then we'll do a giveaway. But first, what is the giveaway today? We might as well go into that and create the hype and or interest. The giveaway that we have today is going to be, and this comes courtesy of Bin Studios. Bin Studios is giving away to us the Jada multiple pack of diecast figures of Generation 1 Wave 1 to one lucky patron member or YouTube channel member today. So, in order to participate in this, you have to be a Patreon member or a YouTube channel member. We're going to ask you a question. If you are a Patreon member, just put your Patreon name first and then your answer. If you are a YouTube channel member, which are the people with the green names in the chat here today, just give your answer. It doesn't matter if you answer first or last. We take your name, we put it in a hat, and we mix it up, and the person that gets pulled gets this beautiful prize here today. Awesome stuff. Some nice little die-cast figures. It'll go nice with your Titan class figures. It'll go nice with your Arc. Maybe even if you got a HasLab Unicron. Get someone eaten here. You know, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, the question that we have today, the question that we have today is name one of the brand new nest colored figures that we had revealed today. And hopefully, John, our John, our mod today of the stream, is going to be writing down the names. He's going to be putting it in a hat, and we are going to be picking a winner. If you are a Patreon member, the winners just contact me through Patreon. If you are a YouTube channel member, just contact me through Twitter or Instagram, and we'll work something out and have it sent out to you. So we'll wait for that right now. We'll wait for some people to answer. Get them all in there. I'm just going to wait a moment. You know what? I'm going to use this moment here while you look at the Jada thing to get some water. Good old stuff. Again, if you are a Patreon member, put your Patreon name first beforehand because John needs to confirm that some of the people who are guessing are Patreon members. He has to double check those. For the YouTube members, just type type and the green is enough of a proof, to say the least. Don't worry about being first and or last because it all goes into the hat ultimately in the end. In the end, yo. But otherwise, it's been a pretty good week. It's been a pretty good week, guys. It's been a pretty good week. Pretty good week. John is almost done. We're gonna give it. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we'll give it another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll do the announcement. So in the meantime, while John's doing that, everyone's doing their answers. So what did we get this week? I did some shopping. There was this gigantic closeout sale that was happening. It was one of these stores. It's like it was run in an old Sears that doesn't exist anymore because all these big box retail places are going bankrupt. And they hollowed out this old Sears location, and it was all dead stock from toys over like the past 5 years from different retailers and everything. And it was all getting crazy liquidated. Now, normally these kind of, they also have clothing and t-shirts and some electronics. Normally with this stuff, you usually don't find like premium items because it's really just the leftover of the leftover. But I did find some really good stuff. There was some really good stuff. The first thing was, and this one's crazy. So they had Wave 2 bots. Now, people can't see that. That's $1.99 Canadian, and then it's 50% off. Okay. So that makes it $1 Canadian, which is about 60 cents American, probably right now at exchange. So they had a whole bunch of these for 60 cents each, which was fantastic. I didn't like go crazy and just buy them all. I just bought the ones I was missing because luckily you have the codes on the back. So I picked up a few that I was missing of the little bots. I love the Javasaurus Rex that looks like a little Grimlock that turns into a coffee maker. You got this mustard guy here. You got this is probably the most evil looking pink transformer outside of a Seacon. Look how evil that dude looks. You got the Sander. Look at the Sander there. I think his name is Sandy Man or something. And then you got the orange juice guy. He was actually in the bots cartoon. Just got those 5 because all the others from the series 2 I got from Mikey or Louie, or I got through, luck through various means. But again, 50% off. And then what they also had that was 50% off, and this was the really big find, was they had here, there we go. They had the Rescue Bots Hot Shot. This was, I probably should have brought the box down because it had the sticker on it. This was originally $14.99, 50% off. So it was like $7, which $7 Canadian is like $5 American. I love this one. Nice, big, simple, such a complex transformation. Oh, wow. But anyway, it's just, there we go. Isn't that cool? I love that. It's Hot Shot. It's the Rescue Bots Hot Shot. Nice big beefy transformer lights and sounds. $7. Brand new, 100% brand new in the box. Super hype. Very happy about that one. The only other thing I bought, but it wasn't at the closeout. I was just doing around my toy rounds in Walmart's. Some Super Mario stuff. Got Boom Boom. People aren't familiar who Boom Boom is. He's the guy in Super Mario 3 at the little the castle stages in the middle before you would face the airship levels. So he's out. Nice little articulated Boom Boom figure. Brand new wave of World of Nintendo Mario stuff. And the last thing that I got, and I got it in the mail, was something that I worked on, the brand new Transformers deck building game, Infiltration Protocol. Your man Protoman worked on this one. Um, I'm in in the credits there. Hasbro credits. There we go. Brand consultant. Daniel Protoman Arsenal. Look at that doof. Why would you even put his name? Now your product is worth less than what it was before. Ugh. Yeah, so that's out now. Just started hitting the game stores and stuff like that. That's the expansion set. So if you do want to play the game, you have to own one of the original starter sets. You either have Darkness Rising, which is the Decepticon version, or the original Autobot one, to have those starter kits, and then you could use those expansion sets. There is going to be more coming in the future. Again, I want to give a shout out to Matt Frank and Dan Kahana, who did the box art with me and everything, and all the cool stuff, and of course Dan Blanchette and Mike, all the designers, great stuff. It was such a good project, and we're still moving forward with all this deck building stuff in a world where the Transformer TCG doesn't exist anymore. To have some kind of card Transformer stuff still existing, it's fantastic, fantastic stuff. Great project together with all of us together. Can't wait to do more. But yeah, that's it more or less. Put that away. My little bots everywhere now. But yeah, so we'll take some super chats from the fans. Again, if you want to super chat a question or ask anything, again, just hit that super chat button. If you are a YouTube member, you're already covered with the green names. Again, if you want to be a YouTube member, there's the join button. If you want to be a Patreon member, there's the link down below. We're all good today. So let's jump into some. So we got, let's see here. Mr. Bumblebot. Hello, Protoman. What did I miss? Quite a bit actually. There was a giveaway. There was a whole bunch of information with the news and stuff. We talked a little bit about let's see, what else did we talk about? We talked about the licensing expo and all that craziness and all the ugly stuff there. A lot of probably the most important stuff to me, in my opinion, is knowing what the new packaging is for Earthspark. That's the big one. You know how that's going to look on shelves when we're going to go looking for it in the next couple of months, when we're going to be ducking for all that, that deluxe class stuff and everything. Okay, so John has the winner for the giveaway. John just took out the. Okay, so he's just waiting for Johnny. It's a separate message. Hold on. So the winner of the giveaway, might as well pull up the slide. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the giveaway for the Jada Toys diecast set of Transformers Generation 1 minifigs. Actually, I think Wave 2 is hitting stores now also, that comes with Beast Wars. But for the Wave 1 set, again, courtesy of Binth Studios. Be sure to check out Binth Studios stuff. The winner is T-Formers 2002, which I believe John says is a Patreon member. So we have a Patreon winner here, T-Formers 2002. Congratulations. I just want T-Formers, please confirm, because if not, we have to give to the second name that is chosen. We're just going to wait a moment. If T-Formers 2002 is going to... Gotta wait. I'm going to take another sip of water because I am thirsty today. Hey, there we go. T-Formers 2002. Congratulations. Congratulations. You are going to be getting this in the mail, so just be sure to contact us through Patreon. Send us your address, and we will be throwing that in the mail, and you will be enjoying your diecast love. Enjoy! We're going to be doing this over the next couple weeks, guys, so be sure to tune in if you are a Patreon or YouTube member and get in on the action and get some free Transformers. Got to share the love. Got to share the love. Good stuff. Let's go through some more questions in the meantime. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Eyes on the Ace says, yes, it's been a pretty good week. My Transformers movie 5-pack coming in a few days. Yeah, man, that 5-pack. That reminds me, I have to send money to Louis for it because I have to pick it up through him because Quebec. Can't ship anything to us, I swear. Yeah, that 5-pack, man. Like I kept telling people, like, pick up that 5-pack. Like that, just the Ironhide alone in it is worth the value of that entire 5-pack. Just the Ironhide, because the secondary market prices for Ironhide was crazy. Hey, yeah, you get a really nice colored, accurate Ratchet, and you get Jazz. Jazz is also starting to go up in value too now. Like the Optimus is a bonus, the Bumblebee is a bonus. There's so many Bumblebees. But I mean, just the Ironhide and the Jazz alone, you know, the way I see it is like, if you could just buy it just for one of the figures and then sell the rest, and it just pays for itself easily. Like it's such a good value set. And it's sold out super fast because people realized how much of a good value set is. I'm worried. I swear I'm so worried that people are like, there's so many people that bought it to scalp it, but I just hope that everyone was able to get in on it because it was a really good reissue set. Much like, again, that SS 44, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. We have a question from Mikey. Hey, Proto, now that the current comics are coming to an end, what do you think the future of Transformers comics is going to be going forward? The rumor that I'm seeing online, I honestly thought for the longest time, before I'll talk about the rumor, I honestly thought for the longest time that Boom Studios was going to get the comics because Boom Studios was doing a fantastic job with all the other Hasbro properties. I mean, they're just killing it with the Power Rangers one. The Power Rangers one was doing absolutely fantastically well, and the fans were loving what Boom Studios was doing with Power Rangers. So I thought it was going to go to Boom. They seem professional. They seem really good at balancing, like, the variant covers, the convention exclusive covers. They have a really good kind of relationship with conventions and stores for that. But apparently it's going to Image. That's the rumor I keep hearing, that Image Comics is going to be getting it. What they're going to do, I don't know. I don't know. Comic books is a rough market It's kind of like, this it really like, I hate to say it, but something like She-Hulk really showed me just how many people don't read comic books because the amount of, like, anger that existed compared to people that actually read, the Chris Claremont, John Barnes sensational She-Hulk comics back in the '90s, or even the cartoons back in the '90s. So, I don't wanna get on that rant, but the point is that, um the point is that, like, people don't read comics, unfortunately, so it's a tough market, and whoever does get the license, and that's the sad thing, is that whatever company that is gonna get the Transformer license has to pay big money to it, so they gotta make sure that they're turning around enough issues and making enough money to justify keeping that license, and I firmly believe that maybe Boom Studios, because they had such a good relationship with Hasbro already because of Power Rangers, that they would potentially be the one that would get it, but it sounds like Image is gonna have it. So, we had the IDW continuity, then we recently had the reboot, and now we're gonna have a reboot again, I guess, unfortunately. We'll see. We will see. Tom Laney says, so with the new movie coming, new show, more legacy, are they saturating the market with toys? Wouldn't they cause failure among the brand? I wouldn't think so. I think there was more Transformer toys on shelves during 2007, 2008, and 2009 than there was today. I mean, when you really think about it, like back then, back in like 2007, you had like Movie Line, they were just kind of like, finishing up the Cybertron line and starting up with animated. You had the Universe 2.0 line at the same time. You had Universe 1.0. You had the Classics line that just kind of started up. You had alternators that was still kicking around also. You had titaniums that was still putting out product here and there. There was so many sublines, so much product that was coming out during 2007, 2008, and 2009. And I know I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something. There's got to be some other subline that was happening. Obviously, I'm not going to count like, robot heroes and tiny turbos and everything like that and all that stuff. But I mean, there was so much of that stuff going on that I mean, I think back then there was more product. But to be fair, and in your defense, it was also much more popular. 2007, 2008, 2009 was like peak popularity for Transformers. I think Transformers is still doing very strong. But it's less mainstream popularity and it's more just the hardcore fans that are really kind of keeping everything alive in a lot of ways. I don't think there's never gonna Transformers is never gonna die as a brand. It's too iconic, it's too strong. If we could still get Thundercat toys from Super 7 in 2022, if we're still getting G.I. Joe toys, despite the fact that there isn't really a good G.I. Joe media property out there right now, then how could you even think that Transformers is gonna die with a Netflix BotBot series that just happened, a new series that's coming out on the horizon, a movie that's coming out on the horizon, and comic books that are always out there? Transformers is healthy because when I look at the series that we would deem unhealthy, is there a new Thundercats cartoon? No. Is there a new Thundercats comic book? No. Is there a new Thundercats movie? No. But there's a Thundercats toy line, and that continues to exist. And there's Thundercats this and Thundercats that. So Transformers is so strong that it'll always exist in some shape or form. And Hasbro will make sure of that because it's a very important brand to them, that it'll never fail and die. It'll never in its entire history as a brand, there has never been a single year from 1984 to today that there wasn't some kind of Transformer product. 1992 was the lightest year for Transformers, and they put out still 12 products. It was all like that late UK stuff, like over there, like all that weird UK stuff. But still, there was something. That was like the leanest year for Transformers, but even then, there still was something. Obviously, Japan had a little more, but I mean, I'm telling you, it'll never fail. And that's not me being biased because I love the brand. I love a whole bunch of other brands. Don't let this room fool you. There's other crazy rooms in this house of other stuff. But I mean, the way that I see it, it'll never fail. We got a super chat from Chanem Schneiderman. Chanen Schneiderman. I hope I pronounced that right, Chanen. Beast Wars Rampage when? Well, Chanem, what you're asking is when are we getting Fusors, not Fusors, Transmetals? And I think that if they were going to do Transmetals, I think they would probably go with some more of the easy iconic characters first, like the Cheetors and the Optimus Primals and the Megatrons. I mean, if they did do a Rampage, I would hope that it's like a leader class and it would fit, into that leader class price point. But it's the sad thing, and I look at it today. It's like the original Rampage that came out in 1998, I believe it was. No, 1999. That thing's so big that whatever they'll release today will just not even be the right size. I mean, when the original Optimal Optimus, and then you look at the one that they made afterwards for the Power of the Primes, and it just was so much smaller. So they'll probably do a Rampage at some point. It's a trademark they have. Granted, it's used also with the G1 Predacons, but it's a trademark they have. They'll use it probably at some point, but you might not be very impressed with what they do. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a small Rampage, in my opinion. Um, Mikey says the 5-pack is not sold out on Amazon. If anyone wants, go get it. If you don't have that 5-pack, go get it. You will regret it if you don't get it. I'm telling you guys, in like 2 years or 3 years, you're going to be like, man, I didn't get Jazz. I didn't get Optimus. I didn't get this Bumblebee. I didn't get the Ironhide. I wish I got that 5-pack. I'm telling you, even if you want to buy it just for Ironhide, you could easily piece it out and sell the other figures. I know it. I know it. Media Max says Protoman, the rumored War for Cybertron file the Cybertron Studio Series figures are Studio Series figures, High Moon Studios. Well, yes, it's in the name, High Moon Studios. It's more. Let's just hope that it's actually what we hope it is. That's all I'm hoping. I mean, yeah, it's in the name. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Mikey says actually Thundercats movie is still on the way. Well, we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff that's in creative limbo, unfortunately. There's a lot of stuff that's in creative limbo. Roman says, don't forget alternators, Protoman. Oh, no, I didn't forget alternators. I remember I was in mechanics school and this was in 2006. It was late 2006 when I was in mechanics school. And I remember, shout out to Mario in mechanics school, one of my classmates. He was the one who saw like the trailer, like that first hype teaser trailer, and he was like, "Oh, bro, I can't wait! They're making a live action Transformers movie." And I remember we then took one of the class cars and we drove to Toys R Us, and there was the brand new alternator toys at the time in 2006. It was the yellow uh, Sunstreaker that was from the Dodge Viper. It was the Acura, which I believe the Acura was the camshaft one. It wasn't the Prowl one. And I forget what was the other one I picked up. I want to say it was Blue Tracks also. But I remember picking those up. Like, so I remember like the timeline. And it's funny, like when you live it and experience it, it kind of stays with you forever. But man, those were great times. The hype leading up to it, man, like everyone I knew was a Transformer fan then. People that I knew my whole lives. And then out of nowhere, they were Transformer fans. Those movies converted so many people. It's crazy. It's crazy how one live action movie could do that. Eyes on Ace, I think they should do a mini con 3-pack and sell them as deluxes. Oh, I would love that. I mean, if they did like the street action team, Perceptor and the crew, Highwire, Grindor, and Highwire, Grindor, and Sureshock. I'd love that. Love that. That'd be cool 3-pack, or even Star Saber Blade. Have a proper one to go with the new Starscream that we have coming. That'd be awesome. T-Formers 2002 with the $5 super chat. Thank you, T-Formers 2002, for the awesome super chat. Evening, Proto. So glad that I won the multi-pack. Enjoy the multi-pack, my friend. I've seen it in stores and I've been trying to wait for a sale, but this fixes that. Of course it does. Have you been seeing the second one? I know I've been seeing reports of the second one showing up. The second one I'm referring to is the Beast Wars one that has a few other characters in it. I've seen reports of it. I haven't seen it locally here yet. Quebec's always a little slow. We're always a little slow to get stuff. The province of Quebec and my beautiful city of Montreal, we're always a little slow to get that kind of stuff. But enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's going to be on your way. I'll take care of you after the stream tonight. We'll get everything ready to ship it out on Monday. The next business postal day, we will have it shipped out to you, brother. Eyes on A's. People are trying to sell the Ironhide for 200 plus. Oh my God, these. You know what? You can't give people nice things. I swear, you can't. You just can't. You just can't. You really can't. Tom Laney, thanks again. Proto, got to call it a night. It's 1 a.m. where you are. Oh, go to bed, my brother. Go to bed. It's 1 a.m. Take care. I understand. Trust me. Media Max, Protomang, could the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron be evidence of a possible upcoming re-release of those games? Did High Moon get residuals on the original figures? What's the legality of that? High Moon does not get the residuals on figures. While they might have designed all that stuff, at the end of the day, it's kind of a mutual, kind of beneficial relationship. Aaron Archer would be a good person to ask for that stuff because he helped with a lot of it too. But we got a lot of super chats today. We'll jump into in a moment. Um, but I mean, it would be great. The problem is that they'd have to. Here's the problem: they'd have to sign up a license again to have the license for the game again. Then you'd have to ask yourself, how is it going to be distributed? Is it going to be an online only thing? Do you have to buy like a digital copy off of the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Live Store? Then you got to ask yourself, are they going to run the servers again? Is High Moon going to run those servers? High Moon doesn't even exist anymore, so it'd have to be Activision. Is Activision going to run those servers again? And then how long are they going to run those servers on an old game? You know, it's not like it's not like Splatoon 1 getting reissued by Nintendo. It's Activision, smaller studio. Who's going to run those servers? And pay to keep them running. It's something where I mean, I wish it would come back because, and I've said this many times before, the best Transformers games ever made were those two games. I am a huge video game person. I did a humongous video game Transformers panel at TFCon many years ago. It's on YouTube. You can find it. Type Protoman video game panel. I remember Vangelis hosted it on his channel. And up to that point, I was like, okay, here's all the Transformer games that existed. And when I did that panel, those two games didn't exist yet. Now they exist and they're just fantastic. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. If it doesn't, well, we have that weird, third party way that people are managing to play it online through private servers. We'll see. The only thing that sucks is you can't get the DLC. Although you know what? I say that, but you know how technology is. One day we'll be able to get the DLC. You could get the RC DLC and everything. Mikey says, we went hunting today at 4 Walmarts and no go wave 2 of the nano figure Transformers, but the hunt continues. Okay, so they are out there. I know I saw reports of it. Nothing locally here, but I know I saw reports of it at Walmarts. So it's out there. And the reports, if I remember correctly, they were in the Transformer aisle, like they were near it. So you don't have to go to like the diecast section. It was actually near there. Because usually the Jada diecast stuff, like even like the micro figure, not the micro figures, the micro vehicle stuff, that's in the diecast section with Hot Wheels. But the actual Transformer mini figures, that's actually in the Transformer section. So you don't have to dig too much. But then again, everyone's Walmarts are different. So maybe you do have to kind of move around. People make messes. Not to mention the holidays are coming up, so everything's going to be a mess. Kids coming in, trying in Halloween costumes, all that stuff. We got a super chat from Eastman777. Thank you, Eastman, for the super chat of $5. Eastman wants to know what happened with the Voltron lead metal issue. Does the same lead metal issue happen with G1 Transformers and GoBots? What is your favorite Series 1 GoBot? Oh, Series 1 GoBot. That's a tough one. I'll have to think about that one. Oh, no, I think I could probably take a guess. I'll answer your first one. So, metal issue, like, the thing is that it's not the lead metal that's the problem. It's the paint that was the issue. And they were using lead paint. and you can't use lead paint on product that is marketed at an audience that is under 13 years old. And they were using lead paint, and you can't use lead paint on stuff. Anyone remembers what was it called? Eagle Moss? They were the people that would do it would be like a comic book character, and it came with a painted figure. Those were all lead paints, but they were written right on it. Don't put that stuff in your mouth. Don't take that Nightwing figure and put it in your mouth. Or Power Girl, I think, would probably be the more appropriate for some of our listeners here. Um, but the way that I see it, it was just a lead paint issue, and it was a stupid move on them. I guess because lead paint's nicer, and cheaper, but I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Um, as for um, as for favorite Series 1 GoBot, because my favorite GoBot of all time, like of the original GoBots, not Machine Robo, the GoBots, Mighty Robots, Mighty Vehicles, my favorite GoBot of all time is Vanguard. But he was what are known as an MRT. Every single GoBot has an MR, stands for Machine Robo on them, MR1, MR2. The MRT series was the Machine Robo Tonka creations, and he was a later addition. And even though he was a mainstay in the show, he was in the Rock Lords movie, but he wasn't the first wave. But of the first wave, I'm gonna give it to it's a tie between, and it's two renegades. It's a tie between. I'm looking at them because I have them carded on my wall. That's how much I love them. Fightor and Slicks. Fightor was the red jet, which I feel, man, they could easily make a modern Fightor today. Take one of the Conehead designs and give it that, don't make it look like Thrust, but give it the Fightor color scheme. And Slicks was the Formula One. He came in black and yellow, which is another easy one you could do. Take Mirage and give it those drag strip colors, but give it more black color scheme, and then the shades, and then you got Slicks. Um, Crasher was good too. Who else was good? So that's Wave One. Crasher, Pathfinder. I'm looking at my wall of. I might as well show you guys. Just move the camera. I'm just gonna screw. There's my wall of carded GoBots. I use them to line the wall here. And now I just screwed up the camera, everything. I have a huge GoBot collection behind me too, so I screwed up the camera every time I touch it. So, man, I don't know. I don't know, but Vanguard will always be my favorite GoBot character. On the Machine Robo side of things, then it's Blue Jet, which is what Fightor is in Japan. Who else was good? Who else was really good? Coptor was kind of cool. Coptor was like a dark brooding character. He was also Wave 1. I'm not a fan of the Leader 1 design. It's a generic jet. Handcuffs, but that was no, Handcuffs was Series 2. Who else was good? Night Ranger was Series 2. I'm trying to remember who was Series 1 and who was Series 2. Creepy, the Mailway exclusive that was done in the Constructicon colors. He was Series 2. First ever Mailway GoBot. He was really cool. Yeah, Mikey says Crasher. There you go. Crasher's a good one. I have to find Crasher in stores. That brand new Legacy one. Supposedly those are showing up everywhere. Even here, I've seen reports that they're showing up. The Crasher Legacy and the Shadow Strip are starting to show up, cases of them. Man, I want to get those. They look so good. So good. Rescue's another good one, yeah. Throttlebots are on the move. Throttlebots are here. Oh, that's the commercial. I'm trying to remember some other good ones. Well, it's Wave One. Wave One had this and that. Oh, how could I forget? Turbo. Turbo is a fantastic one. He was such a unique car design. Such a weird car design, Turbo. A lot of really good ones. A lot of really good ones. Love them. Love my GoBots. I have a soft spot for GoBots because growing up as a kid, my Transformer collection was very small. Don't believe what you see back here. This doesn't mean anything. I had a very small Transformer collection, at most like 10 to 13 figures. Most of it was Micromasters. Just getting those Micromaster 4 packs just bolstered that army of 10 to 13 figures. And then I would trade the Micromasters. Like I remember I traded my Micromaster fire truck Fire, aka what is his Japanese name? His Japanese name was Fuya. I think it was the search and rescue one. Anyways, um, I remember I used to trade them to get other Micromasters. We would because we would get 4 packs and trade them amongst our friends at school. And my only like true like vintage G1, I had a G1 blaster and a G1 Optimus Prime trailer that I got from a thrift store as a kid. Didn't even have Optimus Prime until years later, years and years later. But GoBot toys, I had so many GoBot toys as a kid. Red hot, thank you, T-formers. Sometimes everything slips my brain at this point. Um, you know, like there was so many like in some of the GoBots that I had growing up were like bootlegs of GoBots because GoBots would get bootlegged like crazy because they were much more simple too. So many of my childhood toys were bootleg GoBots, McDonald's McChangeables. If anyone remembers, I don't want to reach for them right now, but I always keep a set of them under the table here. The McDonald's alternators. That's what they were called. They called the alternators, or the commandrons was another name for them, depending on what region you were in. I had a full set of those as a kid. You know, like I had a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But like Transformers, I was so expensive back then and tough to get. So expensive. Thank God for garage sales years later when I was a kid. Horned Owl, I'd love to see a new Spacey and Loco. Oh, Loco, that's another great one. Oh, yeah, Loco that's series 1 Loco. Loco's a really good one. There is not many steam engine transforming robots because when Japan does trains, they love to do bullet trains. They love their bullet trains. So there's not many steam engine transformers. Like literally you could count on one hand how many steam engine transforming transformers there are. So Loco is one of those rare exceptions. We did we did a TFCon exclusive that was a repaint of Astro Train, and we did a whole new paint scheme on it. We wrote a story where it was the GoBot Loco. Like anytime I could fit a GoBot into any kind of like TFCon, comic book lore or like one of the exclusives, I'll always try to fit them in. Love them. Dive, that's another great one. I had a bootleg Dive as a kid. I didn't know it was a bootleg until years later when I saw what an actual Dive looks like, and the colors were very different. That was again, Dive was one of my first like little transforming robots. So many of them. There was also there was the Esso robot racers. If anyone remembers those were like from the 80s. You could see the crazy commercial for that. I had an Esso robot racer that was a Volkswagen Beetle in yellow. That was like my Bumblebee as a kid for like 20 years until I actually got a G1 Bumblebee years later. Spacey would be a good one too, just because like it would be give an excuse to do more shuttle stuff, and then you can have stuff that's not just blast off or Skylinks, and nice mix it up a bit. Mix it up a bit. Mikey says here for sure throttlebots are probably coming soon. So many molds for them to use. Well, especially yeah, exactly. You could use them from the Stunticons for sure. Look, we already got Goldbug. Roman says my favorite GoBots was Dive and Waterwalk. Waterwalk's another cool one too. He has that cool design there with the little pegs become his feet pieces. A lot of good GoBots, and they're so cheap too. People always sleep on them. I brought a whole bunch of GoBots to the parts party, the Transformer parts party to sell, and they were like $5 to $10 each. I was again 100% complete GoBots from 1982, 1983, and 1984, $5 to $10 each, and no one was touching them. And they're so great. They're so charming and classic little figures. Anyone that like rags on GoBots, man, they're just falling for the memes, man. They're such good little figures. They really are. If you could appreciate like a core class figure today, and you're paying like, geez, what are you paying for core classes today? Like $12.99 American plus tax. How could you not get a $15 Canadian GoBot? you know, so many good ones. Spoons, the forklift. You know, Horned Owl. Remember the converters? Yep. have a bunch of converters too. It didn't have any growing up though. Look up converters, fast track, classic green, steam engine locomotive. Yep, converters. I have a bunch of the converters, but I have a lot of the ones that because they also did converters, but they were molds that were from other lines. Like they used some of the Macross designs in converters. And what was the other one they did? Not Dorvac. Oh my god, it was an obscure mecha anime. They had the whole bunch of the molds that they used for converters. What was cool about converters? They actually had a play set too, one of those matte play sets. That thing's really ridiculously rare. I would love to get it, but yeah, locomotive transformers. There's not many, not many, not many. It's a fun fact. Like you know, what's the most recent one? Honestly, the most recent steam engine locomotive transformer, if you don't count like stuff that they're doing with Astro Train, Web Divers. Anyone remembers Gradion from Web Divers? He actually turned into a steam engine, and he was Japanese exclusive. You think they would have done a bullet train at that point? uh, Mikey says, Proto, now that the current comics are coming to an end, do you think we'll see? I already answered that one, Mikey. Already answered that one. We're pretty much we think it's gonna probably be Image Comics. At least that's what I think. Yeah, that's what it's gonna probably be. Media Max Protomang, I pre-ordered Tarantulas on Amazon last week. Said it would ship in December or something, but they shipped it out yesterday and I got it less than an hour ago. You know what? That's good news to hear. Nothing beats pre-ordering something and it's shipping out way earlier than expected. But then again, a lot of that product was all like, oh, December 1st, December 1st, like all of that legacy stuff. Oh, it's going to come out December 1st. And it all broke the street dates, like everything. I think that they put December 1st primarily because I think that at the time when they were doing those announcements and they were planning the pre-orders, I think they were still backed up because of the big V and Vietnam was still screwed up with the factories. And I think maybe they just caught up really quickly and we just recovered fast and then everything got good again. So everything got bumped up early into schedule. So it's good news for everybody. Good news for everybody, man. Mikey says, no, I meant the story wise. Well, story wise, I think they're going to reboot it. And it's sad because it's like, we just got invested with this new G1 continuity with IDW. And now they've pretty much closed the door. I don't want to spoil, but like, the last bot standing book just finished up. So it's something where, those books are done. And so that's pretty much the end of that continuity. And it's like they're just not going to jump into that they're going to have to make a whole new continuity. We're going to have to it's to compare it to a steam engine. It's like you got to get that momentum before it actually leaves the station. And the problem is that it's sometimes like, I mean, look, the very first IDW miniseries, not miniseries, the first IDW continuity, it took like 3 years before people really started getting into it. It took a while. Like I think like after All Hail Megatron that people really started paying attention to the books and really like going like, oh, these could be bestsellers. It took a while. And then, the new IDW continuity that we got, it didn't really, I hate to say it, it didn't really find an audience that garnered good sales or any kind of critical acclaim, even if the sales were bad. Like no one was really talking about it. I mean, the Beast Wars book was really good, but even then, like maybe I'm a minority. No one's talking about the Beast Wars book, and I love that book. I'm not talking about like the hardcore fans. I'm talking more like the mass media of the comic book world. Like no one's ever going like, dude, you got to read this Beast Wars book. It's really good. So, I mean, and now they're gonna have to just, they're gonna go back and restart from scratch again, yet another G1 book. I mean, I think in all honesty, if they get the G1, if they get the Transformers license image, what they should do instead of trying to do an ongoing crazy like ongoing continuity, just do 4 to 12 issue miniseries capsulated stories. I think those would be easier to sell and they'd be easier to turn into trade paperbacks that people could pick up and get a standalone story in them, as opposed to like multiple trade paperbacks littering bookstores that people feel that, oh, I can't buy of trade number 4. Like I'm going to be all behind. I don't understand what's going on. It'd be a lot better if they do like really good 4 to 6 to 12 issue capsule stories that are just based in any continuity they want. They want to do a GoBot story, they want to do an Armada story, they want to do a Beast Wars story. And I think that those would just do better. But I know they won't want to do that because in the comic book industry, unfortunately, it's not about quality, it's about volume. You want to write one book, sell 5 different variant covers,
Like a
2 retail
trial must be
variant covers,
stopped,
2 retailer
no matter the
incentive covers,
cost.
1 store exclusive or convention cover. And then, of course, the hardcore collectors are going to buy 5 issues of normally of one written issue, and then it's all about volume. They want to put out as much as humanly possible. If they're doing these little like capsule stories and standalone, they're not putting out that many issues. That's why they never want to go 100% to the trade paperback kind of system. They want to still keep selling those floppy issues because they could keep selling those variant covers where trade paperbacks, yeah, there's been variant covers for trade paperbacks, but it's not as popular in the collecting world and the speculator world, unfortunately. Mikey says Puzzler was one of the best GoBots. Yes, he was. He had a lot of great alt modes. There is like one of the Puzzler members is a Countach that is yellow that has a head sculpt that looks exactly like Sunstreaker. It can't be a coincidence. It can't be. 2 yellow Countaches that look exactly like Sunstreaker in the head. It's very weird. Very weird. Roman Shin says, I had Super Cycle, fantastic mold. I like that they made his engine part of his design instead of it being a parts former. Mikey says, we love the Beast Wars comic. I did too. Love those comics. Andy Davis, YouTube member now, 17 months. Thank you, Andy Davis, for the long time loyalty to the pod. Spooky season is near. Who's the spookiest Transformer? I'd have to give it like if you had to like say like horror kind of spooky, uh Bad Spark when Rampage first debuted, that kind of had like the spooky, like murderous kind of horror kind of aspect to it, where like the monster kills somebody. Also the monster pretenders from Master Force of Blood, Gulf, and Gilder. Um, they're also pretty spooky monster, kind of stuff. Outside of that, there's not much else. I mean, there was like a Halloween episode for Transformers animated, but it wasn't really spooky. It was just a fun little animated episode. We finally got our Transformers Halloween episode. We had a Christmas episode, we had a Halloween episode. So, pretty cool. Hope that answers that. Media Max Protoman is Beast Wars technically a different brand than Transformers? No. It's just at the it was our Beast Wars comics separately licensed. No. Um it's just where people get confused with that is because at the time Generation 2 failed. Generation 2 did not do well in 1994. Hasbro was like, "Man, like Project G2 didn't work out." They went back to the drawing board and, they just felt internally Transformers as a brand is not selling. You have to understand in 1993, Power Rangers came out, completely shook the toy world. At the same time, the X-Men Toy Biz stuff was selling very well for X-Men and Toy Biz. So, there was the eyeballs of kids were on other properties at the time, and they weren't looking at Transformers. So when you get to 1995, Hasbro puts it to Kenner. Kenner, there's a whole story between McDonald's and HMS hosting and how Beast Wars was pretty much created. And, we ended up in this situation where they were like, it's not going to be Transformers Beast Wars. It's going to be Beast Wars Transformers. It's still a Transformers brand. It always will be a Transformers brand. It's a Hasbro owned Transformers brand. But just that one time, Beast Wars was headlining and Transformers was under it. It's like Snake Eyes and G.I. Joe at one point, or Wolverine and the X-Men, you know, because Beast Wars was amazing. Starscream's Ghost, that's a good spooky episode. That's true. How can I forget about that one? And Ghost in the Machine. That's another one too. Yeah, that's true. You get the freak out Octane, get him all scared. There you go. Skullgrin, which was known as Blood, the spookiest of the spooky, from Master Force. That's Horned Owl that said that one. Andy Davis. Uh, There's a hater here. Don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about the haters. There's always some guy that's complaining, but you have to understand this is what he does. If he's coming on his Saturday night to complain to me, then imagine how crappy his life is. So you have to feel sorry for So Inspirational. You have to feel sorry for the dude. You got to feel sorry for him, man. You know, he complains about my hair, but I get the women, I get the toys, I get the opportunities, and I have the bad hairline. Brother, I got the game. I got the game, son. If I could do that with a bad hairline, bro, what are you doing? That's all you're getting tonight, my friend. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your night in solitude. I think I hear your cat meowing. Anyways, Mikey, Megatron, Ratchet Monster. Oh, it's true. Yeah, the comic book Megatron. But that's, comic books being spooky. I don't know. I've never really read a horror comic that was like spooky to me. I don't know. Even as a kid, I remember the old Tales of the Crypt comics, reading those, and I used to have this magazine that used to have my Godzilla stuff in it. What was it called? I think it was called Monster Zine. They also had horror comic stuff in it. Correct me if I'm wrong. The name, I forget. It's so many years ago. It wasn't Fangoria. Don't say that one. It was something else. But yeah, I don't know. It's never Media Max. Uh, in Beast Wars Heaven with all these great new figures. Also been rewatching the glorious 4K. Yeah, I've been seeing that too. That someone posted on the Beast Wars upscale. Oh my god, it looks really good. You know what? And those Beast Wars upscales, you watch it and you realize Beast Wars is almost 30 years old. It's 25 now, but it's coming on 30 years old. And this brand looks amazing CG wise. Show me like especially the season 2 Transmetal stuff. Show me one CG show that's on TV. Don't show me like some movie thing that has a multi-zillion dollar budget. Show me one TV show, kids TV show that uses CG that looks as good as Beast Wars that's made today. You can't. What? Pac-Man and his ghostly adventures, Mega Man, all those Korean CG shows that are all like made on like $1, you know? Even the Netflix exclusive stuff. The new Transformer one, Camp Cretaceous, whatever Cretaceous, the Jurassic Park one. And I'm not knocking the shows. I'm just saying the CG. And then you look at Beast Wars with the shading, the transmetal, the reflections. Fantastic. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. But yeah. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's good stuff. Beast Wars, I will always say this. Again, I grew up on G1. People need to understand something. I grew up on Generation 1. Generation 1 was a large part of my childhood. And it was just one of these things where when Beast Wars came out, you just had to admit it. Like, damn, this is well-written stuff. That's what it was at the end of the day. It came out at a time, this perfect timing when Batman the Animated Series came out, X-Men, Gargoyles, Men in Black, where you had these cartoons that they were made to sell toys, but they still were written smart enough that an adult or a young teen could really enjoy them in an episodic or serial kind of format of storytelling. And Beast Wars just came out at that perfect time where Batman the Animated Series said, "Hey, we could write a story that's made for an adult audience, but we could still sell zillions of multicolored Batman animated series action figures that have nothing to do with the show." Like none of those Batman the Animated Series action figures outside of the Rogue Gallery and Vanilla Batman, and obviously like Robin and Alfred, have anything to do with the show. And yet they sold tons of toys. And because of that, that laid the foundation for Beast Wars to go, well, then we could write great stories. You know, we could write absolutely great stories and still sell tons of action figures. And that they did. That they did. And it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. You know what? And it's crazy how you look at Beast Wars and you're like, wow, it got 3 seasons, and yet some of the worst shows I see on TV, and I'm like, "What? They're on, like, season 9? You know, how is this show still going?" And no one's watching it. It's like some of these shows, they're almost like on zombie mode, I call it, where it's just like they're just somehow they're still functioning, and at the same time, like, here's, like, Beast Wars that only had 3 seasons, and, like, literally when it ended, it was it was still a number 1 property. It ended on a high note. It didn't even end like, "Oh, they canceled Beast Wars because of low ratings." It ended on a high note. It was fantastic. But maybe that's for the best, you know? It didn't stick around long enough for it to be, a bad brand. I mean, you could argue, "Oh, Beast Machines is technically season 4 and 5," but it really was a different animal, Beast Machines, different writers. It still was Mainframe Entertainment, but different guidance, different design team, very different stuff. Let's see, David Cabal had that banger opening too. Well, of course. Of course, David. And nice to see you, Dave. Mikey, Beast Wars gave us sparks. Beast Wars brought the science to science fiction in Transformers. It introduced CR chambers, the idea of how Transformers repair. It gave us protoforms. It gave us sparks. It gave us, the idea of how Transformers are born. It gave it gave us the language of Transformers, like the swear words and everything like that. Like slag and put it up your exhaust pipe. Like it's amazing how much that show built, the world that it built for it. And it was just this small cast of characters, which was, due to limitations, but it was a blessing in disguise. And it was fantastic. Uh Media Max Protoman, I'd love to see a Friday the 13th-esque story with a slasher villain Protoform X. You know what? We kinda had also that. I just remembered now. The very first episode that Botanica debuted, I forget what the name of her episode was called, but Botanica's debut episode in season 2 also had a little bit of a horror element to it because no one knew who she was, and she was snatching up people, and she was in that plant mode. That was a very horror kind of episode, the way it was solidified. Andy Davis, the Batman episodes from the Toy Armada were fantastic. Thank you, Andy. I loved doing those episodes with Aaron. Aaron would be happy there. Aaron, someone likes the Batman episodes. Those were always fun to do. I like it when we do episodes about properties that we don't normally discuss because of the popularity of Transformers, and it gives us an opportunity to kind of like say, "Hey, this is what we were doing at the same time when those brands were coming out." And look, Batman is a part of even if you're not a fan of Batman, it's a part of everyone's life. At some point in your life, you saw Batman movies, or you went to see Batman this, or you watched Batman cartoons, or you had a Batman action figure as a kid. So, like, Batman is just one of those, like, eternal properties that has touched everybody. And it's nice to be able to do a podcast where I could talk about it once in a while. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Um, Transmutate episode. I don't know about the Transmutate episode. I wouldn't call that a horror one. Eyes on the Ace. Hey, Proto, I just realized that I could listen to you do a legit documentary on. I just realized I could listen to you do a legit documentary on Transformers. You know what? I don't know if I'd want to do a documentary on Transformers. I really don't like. I don't like doing long form historical explanation stuff. Let me get those plushes in the shot. I don't really like to do that long form historical stuff. Like I'm going to do a video giving the whole history of XYZ. I find that none of the stuff I'd be telling you is stuff that's really stuff that you wouldn't already know from a Wikipedia entry or already there on the internet. Like, I like doing content that is new, like stuff that you never heard. Like, when I do the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, you legitimately hear me hearing stuff for the first time when you're hearing it. Like I'll be like doing stuff with him and learning things for the very first time that is like news to me. And to me, that's the best content. New information, new trivia, new facts, sitting under the umbrella tree of learning and that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that I really like. and giving you the entire history of Rodimus or Nitro Convoy or you know Grapple or Tigatron or Rat Trap or Hoist or anyone else that's behind the camera here chilling. Um, it's to me, it's just like that you could just find easily. It's like 2 clicks away on Google. It's a Wikipedia entry. I rather give you guys something that you didn't know and you wouldn't be able to find on the internet. And I think that's why our podcast has always been so successful, is because I brought something to the Transformer fandom that didn't exist all this time. And that was educating you guys on the whole business aspect of it and how important that is to literally how the entire flow of everything is done afterwards. And I love seeing now the conversations I see on forums. Now that when new information comes out, they constantly reference the podcast. Well, Protoman said, with trademarks, blah 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 blah, and it's true, and I'm glad that people learn that. Um, Mikey says Transmutate was such a heartfelt episode. Yeah, it was more. Transmutate was more of a episode that was talking about mental disability or disabilities in general, and how even people with disabilities are just as have just as many rights as people who don't. And like there's a love triangle in that. There's a lot of like extra layers to the Transmutate episode. I wouldn't call it a horror episode at all, though. And she was cute. A cute character, Transmutate. We got a gold super chat from Wayne the Game Gladiator. Wayne the Game Gladiator. Bonsoir, Proto. Bonsoir, Wayne. If you are interested at some point, if you want to talk about the CG tech behind Beast Wars, Beast Machines, let me know. I could talk to you about some of the tech used in different shots. Hope all is well. Wayne, one day, I'm telling you, brother, when I start running my conventions locally again here in Montreal, which I'll tell you, I'm every day, I'm like no joke. I don't want to show. I don't want to show the business card. I literally have to call a guy to talk about renting some locations in the future. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year, 2023. And when I run the shows, come on down, man. Come on down to Protoman's convention, and we'll wrap. We'll talk. We'll talk business. But yeah, it's like, man, I want to do conventions again. It's killing me. It really is. I used to run minimum 5 shows a year, 5 toy shows a year. Well, 3 toy shows, 2 video game shows a year, and then I'd help with TFCon, and then I'd go to BotCons. Like, man, the big V just ruined everything. Just brutally ruined everything. Just all the good times were lost. All the good times were lost. I know people are running shows, but it's still not at full capacity. We still can't run them properly. And I'm one of those guys, I run by the rule, don't do anything half-assed. That's always how I've been. I rather run something 100% than run something at like 80 or 70 or 60%, because when you run conventions, and this is just my take, I know other people who run shows have different opinions and they will disagree with me, but I feel that conventions, you know, the lifeblood of a convention is the dealers, and dealers pay for their tables, and that money helps pay for the convention to run it. And if you're a dealer, which would you rather have? 70% attendance or 100% attendance? You want 100%. That way you can make your money and make it worth your while. And I always want to respect the dealers, because I was a dealer many years ago. I was a dealer many years ago, and now I'm a guy who runs shows. And because I'm a guy who runs shows, I understand the plight of going to conventions and the organizers of those conventions just shelling it in. They just cared about themselves, because to them, all they cared about is the money that they made. And if the dealers didn't do money, it wasn't their problem, because they got their money already. So I really want to, when I go back to running shows, I want to go back to running shows when I really have 100% of the audience back and there still isn't people who are hesitant. Because the reality is when you run conventions, they're crowded, they're unhygienic, let's be real, and people touch everything. and I want to just make sure people feel comfortable. And we're just not there yet, unfortunately. Look, I was just at, when I was at TFCon, there were so many people that I used to see every year at TFCon that didn't show up because they still were not comfortable going to a TFCon. And talking to my buddies at Symbiote Studios, they all went to San Diego Comic-Con and they all got the big V. Everybody. And it was just like, well, thank goodness I didn't go, you know? But again, it's your choice. I'm not going to tell people how to live their lives. Everyone's allowed to live their own lives and do their own opinions. But that's just kind of the way I'm going to tackle it for now. I'll wait until next year and hopefully things will be looking better and then we could all rock out again together and do everything awesome. Do we really have only 15 minutes left? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, guys, get your super chats in now. I didn't realize we only have 15 minutes left. How what geez, everything passed quickly today. Um, Mikey says the big Vtron, the worst Decepticon ever. Well, we had an Omnicron or whatever it was called there, so we were almost there. Media Max, Protoman, there's a TF like Jazz and Blaster who's likes playing music, but they are any specific Transformers that are singers. Rosanna, Kiss Play Rosanna. Eh, there she is, Miss Pink, right there with the Kiss Play display. The weird Kiss Play display up there. Rosanna was a pink repaint of Eject and Rewind. She's a idol pop singer of Cybertron. And even Derek Wyatt, when he did animated Rosanna, he made her like a pop idol singer. She's probably the most famous idol singer. Also, fun fact: Hardhead, the headmaster, Generation One Hardhead, is a ridiculously huge fan of karaoke. And if you watch, I believe it is episode 14 or 15. It's after Blaster became twin cast. Episode 14 or 15 of Headmasters, the Japanese version, a drunk hardhead, no pun intended, was begging twin cast Blaster to transform so he could sing karaoke, and he sang the outro to Headmasters. But yeah, hope that answers that. There's a few others that like music, but those are two that I could think of that were singing, that were legitimately singing. I know that a lot of the Beast Wars dub stuff, there was a lot of singers in that one too. All the dubs were singing. Yeah, yeah. Hope that kind of answers that. Trying to think of some others. Or some other ones. Or some other ones. Trying to think of some others that were also singers. Can't think of any. But I hope that helps a little bit. I'm just looking at my little bots. You know what I'm telling you guys over the next couple of days, if you're following my Instagram, I'm gonna be posting some little bots photography. Take some nice photos. If you're not following my Instagram, go check it out. You can see a lot of cool photos there. Weird stuff from the collection or otherwise. Sometimes I post I've been on a bootleg kick recently. Been posting a lot of weird bootleg stuff. But yeah. Yep. Man, like we are almost done tonight. Goodness. It flew. It flew, guys. Probably also I want to say this. Probably next week, we're gonna have a new sponsor. We're still gonna have Symbiote Studios. They are the most awesome people on the planet. But we're gonna have also probably a new sponsor next week. And a seat. The people that are behind the official Transformer gaming chairs. They sent me a chair. It should be arriving sometime next week, and we're going to see the brand new chair. So we're going to be retiring old Costco garbage here. This thing's a piece of crap. Don't ever buy a computer chair from Costco. This thing's terrible. Listen to this. This thing's falling apart. I've had this thing for like 7 months. It's already falling apart. And I don't even sit in this chair that much. What a piece of garbage this thing is. I should return it. I'm telling you, I should just like throw it at Costco. I'm returning this garbage. But so Andesite is going to be sending us a Optimus Prime chair. It's going to have their logo and everything. So they're going to be a brand new sponsor. So be sure to check that out. I'm working out something with them where I could get a promo code through them. So you guys could get a discount if you want to buy the Transformer gaming chairs. So check that out too. Uh, Andy Davis gifted a YouTube membership to someone. Oh, very good, Andy. Thank you very much. I didn't know you could gift YouTube memberships.
Megatron must be stopped,
Interesting.
no
I learn
matter
something
the
new every day.
cost.
So we have a new YouTube member. It's Abraham Pomaris. Welcome, Abraham, to the YouTube membership. You can gift. That's very cool. Very nice of you. The giving keeps on giving, and we have 10 minutes left. We got 10 minutes left. That's cool. I guess I saw that on Twitch once. People used to be able to do that, but Twitch is dying, supposedly. Never really used Twitch that much. Once in a while. Mikey wants to know, what are your thoughts on the TF band Cybertronian Spree? Two of them are very close friends in real life. Cybertronic Spree are actually Toronto locals. And Sean, who sometimes he plays Rumble on the group. He plays like the Rumble as in purple Rumble, blue Rumble, purple Rumble. Close friend. I love them. They're great guys. They're super cool. Um, I think I was at one of their very first live concerts ever. If it wasn't their first, then it was their second. Back in the day, we're talking like, geez, 2013, 2012. Back in the day, they are super cool dudes. There's actually, I don't want to pull back. I did an interview with Sean back in the day on G4 Tech TV, which was G4. Um, and this was Sean without his Rumble outfit on, but maybe I don't want to spoil his identity. But anyways, cool bunch of dudes, love them to death. You know, I have their T-shirt. They have cool T-shirt, their old T-shirt style they had back in the day with their unique logo. I have their stuff. Anytime they do a concert locally, I go support them. They're awesome dudes, really awesome dudes. Andy Davis just gifted another membership. Did he? Oh no, okay, I'm seeing things. Jeez. I'm like, what's going on? Everyone's gifting memberships? Uh Mikey says, buy a Costco chicken and let it sit in the Costco chair. Hey, Costco chicken ain't too bad. You get what you pay for. That's what I always say. Now, this chair, what sucks is this chair, it was on sale and they were like, oh, it's a really good quality chair. Like I saw the reviews. And then when I went to go pick it up, they didn't have it in red. They only had it in blue because I wanted it in red because Protoman red, Mega Man blue, I guess, whatever. So I got it in blue. And then literally, you guys can't see it. I wish I could show you. Actually, no, screw it. Hold on. Literally, guys, look at this. It's broken here. See this? Already the springs are breaking out of the bottom. The springs are busting out of the bottom. What a piece of garbage. Barely had this for 6 to 7 months. What a terrible chair. Terrible, terrible chair. So next week, hopefully, and the seats, we'll have a brand new chair for us, brand new snazzy chair for the podcast. We'll have a promo code for you guys so you could get one if you want at a discount, and everyone will be happy. Everyone will be happy. Proto setup tour. I don't know about that. You know what? A lot of times people always ask me, they want me to do they want me to do display tours and stuff like that. Eh, I don't know. I know people like collection tours, but I find that my collection is always changing and growing. That to record something that would be like a picture in time, a screenshot in time, when everything is constantly changing. Yeah, you get to see the background here. Isn't it nice? Some G1, some Robot Masters, Titaniums, Universe 1.0 with bloody tusks over there. You got 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. There's Grand Maximus, Japanese Fortress Maximus. You got My First Transformers. You got Beast Wars Second. You got Beast Wars. You got all kinds of crazy stuff. It's hard to see because it just keeps going and going, all over the place. You got all the Unicron trilogy, good stuff. Mikey says, so you got a Transformers chair already. A Costco chair can transform into garbage, but only once. Yeah, well, definitely fell apart into garbage, that's for sure. Legit, like one of my friends was telling me because he used to work at Costco. He's like, people would return stuff all the time long after they were purchased, and Costco would take it back and give them refunds. They have a really good like customer service. And I'm legitimately tempted to just like after I get my new chair, just going back to Costco and going, look, you guys, here's my bill. I bought this thing 7 months ago. It's already fallen apart. I barely use this chair. It's a piece of garbage. I don't know. I'm not going to bother them though. But it's just it's such a shame how bad this is. It's such a shame. So now I'm going to get a good chair, a nice snazzy chair that everyone's going to be able to check out, and then hopefully I'll be able to get a cool promo code, and everyone will get discounts, and they can. The chairs are going to come in Megatron. Actually, I'm going to have. They sent me a press kit. I'm going to have the whole press kit set up and everything next week if I get the chair. But they can have a Bumblebee chair, a Optimus chair, and a Megatron chair. And then they said later on they're going to have other products too. So, man, if they make a hot rod chair, oh god, mark my words. If they make a hot rod chair, I will mark my words. I swear, I'll I'll get them to send me the hot rod chair, and I will do a giveaway of my Optimus chair to the fans because that'll be so cool. Oh my god, if they do a hot rod chair. Oh, that'd be so cool. With flames and everything. That'd be the coolest chair ever. But to be fair, if I was working for them, I suggest they should probably do Soundwave first. They should do Starscream. Like there's other characters in my opinion they should do first before they do Hot Rod. You know, business first before pleasure. That's what I always say. Let's see what else do we got here. Andy Davis showing all the icons. We have 3 minutes left. My goodness. We got 3 minutes left in the stream, guys. Some assembly required. It's true, I'd have to take it apart and ship it. That might be a nightmare. Grimlock chair. Yeah, that's another one too. They should do Grimlock. Yeah, like, you have to go with the Legendary 7. You have to like you can't people have to understand like the licensors when they license the Transformer brand, Hasbro sends them a little kit which tells them like, "Hey, these are our big name characters, and anytime you do if you're going to license our brand and make bath towels, here's the characters you want to put on those bath towels. If you're going to make t-shirts, here's the characters you want to put on those t-shirts." And yeah, there might be that one guy that's like, I really like Blur, or there's one guy that's like, I really like Hot Rod. But the reality is you're going to sell more Grimlock t-shirts than you will Hot Rod. You're going to sell more Starscream t-shirts than you will Blur. So you just got to always go with that. Starscream ghost chair that possesses you when you sit in it. Now, you know what? The Starscream chair should have like wings. That'd be cool. That'd be very dynamic. That'd be really cool. You know, that'd be really cool. A Starscream chair would have like the wings. A Grimlock chair could probably have like maybe like not raptor like T-Rex claws on the armrests. The Optimus one that I'm getting, it has a Optimus Prime lumbar, like the lumbar, like for your lower back. It has Optimus Prime on the headrest, but then you have the extra headrest that has Anda Seats' logo on it. It obviously has the red and black. On the back of it, it has the Autobot logo embroidered. They look really nice, but I just don't have one in person yet. When I have one in person, what I'm definitely going to do is when I'm going to build it, I'm going to show you guys pictures of it when I'm building it. Like I'm going to have to probably build it in my kitchen or something so I can get a nice shot of all the angles. But well, as I'm building it. But I mean, it would be, like Optimus chair should probably have like a trailer that has like a storage box. That'd be cool. Like a little roller trailer. But yeah. Uh Abraham says, thank you, much appreciated. To um that goes to Andy Davis who donated the membership. Thank you, Andy Davis, for that. Mikey wants to know what's for dinner, Proto. Um Today is a very simple day. Today is a very simple day. I wanted to actually get Asian food today. I was kind of in the mood to get like Chinese or something, but ultimately in the end I didn't. And then I just picked up pasta with a baguette, just kind of going to be having that very simple pasta, noodles and everything. And then tomorrow I'll probably have Asian food. I want some Asian fusion, maybe some Vietnamese pho soup. I'm not sure yet. I'll see how I feel. Tomorrow is a big cleaning day in the Protoman house. I bought a whole bunch of clear Rubbermaids. I'm going to be sorting a bunch of product and collections I bought recently. I have a humongous Ninja Turtle collection, vintage collection I bought, and I have to sort it all and find an audience who wants to buy it. Um, and that's about. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow for me. Very busy. That's why Sundays are always my day off for the pod. Gotta always relax. That's why I do the 2-hour live stream tonight. I upload it. People could enjoy it on Sunday for people who can't watch it live. And that is that. Andy Davis eating tempiyaki. Oh, I'm jealous of you, Andy. I would love to have that. I haven't gone to sushi in 3 years because of the virus, the big V. I'm going to call it the virus. I don't care anymore. I want to go to sushi. In honor of Ninja Turtles tonight, pizza night. I wish. I'd love to have pizza. I had pizza a few days ago because Little Caesars did their they did a special pizza that was done what's called tasty food style. What was it? What did they call it? The pepperazina or whatever. They had their special fancy name for it. Little Caesars did a new pizza. What's it called? Fanceroni, I think it's called, which is done tasty food style, which is it's pepperoni and then they cook it and then they put pepperoni slices on top and then they cook it and those get burned and they become super crispy and oily and amazing and so bad for you and you're making me drool right now just thinking about it. I had that 2 days ago. It was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. Loved it. Anyways, guys, it is 2 hours. We've done 2 hours today. Thank you everyone who came by. Thank you for the haters who came by. I love you guys even more. You can't hurt a guy that has such a great life. You have to understand, man. Like my life is amazing. I love my life. I have great fans. I got a great family. I got an amazing collection, amazing life, a great job, great hobby, opportunities to work on the dream brands of my life. You know, there's nothing that people could say to make me feel bad. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me, my friend. Trust me. But thank you everyone who came by this evening. It's absolutely fantastic to have everyone who came by. Aaron Archer, the Hasbro crew, all my YouTube members, all my Patreon members, all my people, all my listeners, everyone who came by. We are at the end, my friend. And to quote Mr. Rogers, you know, it's a good feeling to know you're alive, and it's a happy feeling that you're feeling inside. And when I wake up ready to say, I'm going to feel like it's a snappy new day. It's a good feeling and ready to know that I'll be back when the time is through and I'll have more Transformers for you. And we'll have things we'll want to talk about, and I will too. Take care, everybody. It's a sweet night. Take care of yourself. Love your friends and family. It's a beautiful world out there. It is not as crazy and political and stupid as you think it is. It's all in their heads. Enjoy yourselves. Go for a long walk. Enjoy your life and enjoy Transformers. Take care. And as always, roll out.